content warning. My audio may be really bad since I have my air conditioner on, but give me some slack, it's really hot in here. So, to start this off, I want to include several warnings at the beginning. Warning for abuse, grooming behavior, essay implications, bullying, homophobia, racism, and more I probably forgot. I will be dancing around the terms after this warning of sexual assault due to people close to me suffering through it. However, it will still be brought up. Viewer discretion is advised. Scratch is an 8-year-old targeted site. However, their moderation Scratch team, or ST, has become increasingly more and more harmful. From sending warnings and bans for no reason to even deleting accounts over DeviantArt posts, Scratch needs to be checked. Part 1, Moss Shadow. Warning for abuse and harassment. I'm going to start this off by saying that I am extremely biased. I followed this person when I started Scratch, and he was the only reason why I did, and I adored his games. Yes, he's done a few mistakes, but I certainly have too. All people have. Who is Moss Shadow? Moss Shadow is a person that joined Scratch at around 10 years old, I think, maybe a bit older. He started out by drawing Warrior Cat fan games and started the series Westwoods. He became Scratch famous around 12, we'll get into why that was an issue in a second. He made several games, and the most notable being Kid to Leader that had over 1 million views, which on Scratch, that was unheard of. That game gained him hundreds of thousands of followers, and that's where Scratch Team started to become not just an annoying problem, a dangerous one. What did ST do to Moss Shadow? Dialing back, when they got famous at 12, they were bombarded with hate comments. Now, I doubt any of you would really care. I wouldn't. But if you're a little 12-year-old just having fun, making fun little Warrior Cat games, and suddenly people start spamming you with insults, that can demotivate someone, and it had that sort of effect on Moss Shadow. Over time, the hate comments got to Moss Shadow less, but they still kept coming. We'll get into what they included in a second. Scratch Team would allow these insults and mean comments, but would often attack Moss Shadow. They have several videos including all of the ridiculous warnings and bans, and I'll include them as many as I can find in the description and a screenshot of a copy pasta he had on screen. Moss Shadow, if you're watching, please include any that I missed. Most recently, they removed a project that was an AMA, which stands for Ask Me Anything, with their character Pigeon on screen. ST took the project down because they included talking about warning in the instructions, so they removed it and reshared it. They removed what they said was wrong with it. It was unshared again, so they made a humanized version of Pigeon to replace the drawing to see what was wrong with the drawing. However, ST banned him. After a while, they decided to delete his Scratch account. Their 9-year-old account with around 500 projects was deleted forever. Well, according to ST forever. They deleted their account over a post with their original character, Pigeon. Some people may be thinking ST is bonkers, while others may be thinking, well, maybe they posted about Pigeon on another website and maybe you're an adult character. First of all, why would he put No See Men in that context on Scratch? Second, ST said that they don't punish Scratchers for what they do off-site, and even allowed a damn groomer on the website. That's for later. ST member Brian replied to an email asking what for, and he was extremely aggressive and nitpicky in his reply. His reply included a screenshot of a DeviantArt post made by Moss Shadow. Remember what I said just 2 seconds ago about them not punishing Scratchers for actions they do off-site? Yeah, so they made an exception for them. Currently, their account is still deleted, and it's likely it won't be recovered due to ST's stubbornness. Insulting comments. Warning for harassment, homophobia, and racism. YouTube isn't safe from the occasional hate comment or comment from someone who's very discriminatory. However, compared to Scratch, the amount of comments is a blessing. I'll be using Warrior Cats or Warriors as an example, but it's not limited to it. Warrior Cats games are very common on Scratch, and they're super fun to play and look through to figure out how someone coded something. However, Warrior Cat fans have made same-sex relationships between characters that go by they, them, or characters that aren't straight. All are completely fine and even good to include in a series. I have a few as well. However, homophobic parents teach kids to be homophobic as well as racist, ableist, etc. I'll show a few screenshots of hate comments and what projects they're on screen. Keep in mind that this is a small fraction of the amount you'd find. To become a Scratcher, you need to confirm that you'll Be kind and accepting of each and every identity, sexuality, and race. Some 8-year-olds would just see the next arrow and click it like it's the end of the world until they get to the end, skipping the entire speech. Scratch needs to address this problem. Hate comments are inevitable, but for a welcoming space, it's heavily under-moderated, as well as the damn advertisements. There are so many advertisements. It's worse than YouTube at this point. Robin. Warning for severe harassment and doxing. This person, which I will refer to as Simon, made a video explaining that a person called Robin harassed Simon's friend to a disgusting extent. To see all the information, please see Simon's video as well as the document I'll link below. To sum it up, Robin made a lot of death threats to someone called Spring, I think. If that's incorrect, I deeply apologize. And bullied them to the point that they abandoned their old account and only told their friends about their new one. But Robin still found out. Robin also found them on another website before they found out Spring's full name, and so he decided to post it on Scratch. I'm not sure how it was dealt with after, but this was all on Scratch, and to my knowledge, he was only banned recently and or left on his own accords. This was a short section, but it proves that Scratch needs to do manual checks on projects. 9 Rainbow Tales. Warning for assault and homophobia. 9 Rainbow Tales, or Ranboo, is a well-known person in Scratch who sometimes makes games and usually comics. She has a game called Tales of Perfect Heart, or TOF. Most probably know what I'm going to talk about, and for those who do know, no, I'm not including the more controversial topics, not out of saying they're incorrect, but out of not wanting the video's comments to get off track. I'm only including 2 topics. The first one is a lighter one, homophobia. I'm not going to get into Perfect Paw wearing a lesbian bandana as a joke, because that was really controversial and would get off track. I'm talking about Ranboo's lesbian characters who abducted 2 kits as their own. This shows LGBTQ+ adoption as bad. Some people think it's awful that someone has 2 parents of the same gender, and Ranboo is saying that a lesbian couple kidnapped their kids, adding to it. No, queer adoption is not bad, and it's just as valid as straight adoption. The second topic is a lot heavier. I will be dancing around the terms due to a sensitivity to them, but I will put both the terms on screen. A character called Birdbird is giving birth, and her sister asks who the father is, or the mate. Birdbird says she claims Quillfur, who shows up for the first time here. Quillfur is visually distressed, and he says that he and Birdbird barely even talked before. I'm gonna assume you know how kids are made. It gets even worse with the fact that Birdbird says she chose a Tom at random. As a person with a sensitivity to this topic, this is extremely offensive to me. I myself have not gone through this type of assault, but others close to me have, and in all cases, it was traumatizing. The assaulter was put in prison for a frustrating little amount of time, too, if at all. I'm also at a really high fear of going through it as well, living in a place where people like that are scarily common. Don't worry, I'm completely safe. My parents are amazing, and I don't walk around public places alone. This infuriates me that Ranboo is coaxing kids to make jokes about this. This isn't a joke, and it isn't funny at all. It's traumatizing. It's a traumatizing experience, and it shouldn't be met with jokes or laughs. It should be met with open arms and advice. I'm not saying that just females are susceptible to this assault. Males are also assaulted, and all victims of any age, race, or identity should be met with help, not jokes. You may be asking, Pyro, I can't find these pages. That's because someone who I'll refer to as Quaid made a video explaining it and going a lot deeper into the explanation, and I'll link the document with Quaid's video under mine with the pages. There was another account, and I think it was a lot less graphic, but I don't have anything else to add on to that these jokes are disgusting and shouldn't be on Scratch. Scratch team as a whole. Warning for manipulation, harassment, and abuse. ST has been going crazy for a while. Going back to Moss Shadow, they were given a warning that they reshared a project without changing anything, only the project was never taken down? Moss Shadow waited for a bit and asked if it was alright to share it, and ST said it was a-okay. It was taken down later for the same reason, I believe. This is called gaslighting. They're acting like they never said something they did say. It's disgusting. I had a 3-day-long ban because I reshared something, which is true to an extent. I made a project criticizing them, and they took it down and didn't really say what was wrong with it, so I took out the parts of calling specific people out, and I was banned. For what? Criticizing someone? That's like punching someone because they said you tied your necktie wrong. It's immature of them. ST has been abusing their power for years. They took down Moss Shadow's game Once a Fire Clan Warrior for being too inappropriate, and when they removed a bunch of stuff, it was taken down again. That's purposeful, unclear communication. They aren't saying what parts are bad, they're being vague. It's immature of them as well. They're always being hypocritical. They allowed someone who drew flashing in a Scratch project. I believe they took it down, but they didn't ban the user. But they don't let Moss Shadow say that he's unmotivated. That's blatant favoritism and manipulation. Favoritism is very obvious, but it's setting up the mindset of, okay, if I do this one little thing for them, maybe they'll cut me some slack. That's a tactic abusive parents and teachers use on kids to keep them quiet and keeping them on their toes. It's abusive, manipulative, and they harass people they just don't like. Miscellaneous. This consists of proof of ST being neglectful and harmful. All the warnings above counting here. Conclusion. ST are dangerous individuals who shouldn't be allowed around children, much less decide who shouldn't be on their site. I want to thank everyone who reached out to give proof of ST being ST. This project couldn't be made without you. Now, what else? Please, please, please share this video. Share it to people you know are on Scratch and or are unaware of this. If you yourself are on Scratch, you should take this as a warning. If ST starts to harass you, make it public. Take screenshots, tell your parents, and email ST asking why they punish you for no reason. That's all for today.